There we go. Hello, dance friends. I'm going to invite some people here in a second, and I'm going to be talking about my experience last night. I did a parent seminar on injury management and preventing dance-related injuries at Desert West Dance out in Goodyear, Arizona. So, hey, Lindsay and everybody at Desert West. But one of the parents, or actually a couple parents, had some questions about pain. So I just kind of wanted to share what that conversation or how that conversation progressed, because I thought it was really cool what we ended up with, and I just wanted to share it with you. So I'm just going to invite a couple more people. And for those of you who may or may not know about Facebook, if you like the information that I give in the lives that I do, go ahead. There should be like an announcement or a little button that you can click that says to get a notification whenever I go live. So go ahead and click that. So the next time I do go live, you'll get a little notification. You'll know when I'm going so that you can tune in. Alrighty, so let's see. Alrighty. So yeah, I think I got enough for right now. Okay, so here's what happened. Like I said, I'm going to talk a little bit about pain, particularly pain in dance. So we were having a really awesome session with a lot of parents. A whole lot of parents showed up, which was wonderful. I thought that was really great that parents were stepping up and wanting to learn more information about how to keep their dancers safe and healthy. And I always take questions both at the beginning and at the end of my seminars. And one of the parents basically asked, what's the difference between like a good pain and a bad pain? Or what's the difference between like is muscle soreness something that warrants getting checked out? Because she kind of explained that, you know, if I went and took my dancer to the doctor every time that they reported pain, then she'd always be at the doctor's office, which I totally get. So she was just asking a really good, genuine question about knowing the differences between different types of pain. Like I said, it was a really, really good question. And my initial response was going into or was talking about how muscle soreness, usually after a bout of activity that is new to the body or a bout of activity that sometimes is longer than what a dancer might be used to, usually you kind of get that post-workout soreness. And I talked about how it's usually within like the muscle belly. So a lot of times dancers will complain like a thigh hurts, you know, a general region where there's a lot of muscle area. And I kind of differentiated that a little bit from specific, like a sharp or a shooting pain where somebody can tell you it hurts specifically like right here. And just points to a very specific area. And I kind of talked about how that can be more of a sharp, localized, very specific area, and that might be something that might, you know, indicate an injury as well. But then another parent kind of chimed in and gave an example of a dancer who was having a soreness type of symptom, but it was prolonged. It was over like months. It would come on and go off, so it would come and go and come and go. And it was always a sore feeling, kind of in the same or similar area. And she was asking about that. You know, it's still soreness, which is what I was just talking about a few minutes ago, but it was from a different type of perspective, which was another wonderful question coming to me. And so when I was kind of thinking about it, ultimately, what I kind of broke down and said was, look, I really appreciate the fact that, you know, you care about your kids. I really appreciate the fact that you want that information in terms of being able to differentiate those good and not so good types of pain. But even in this conversation, I was telling them, you can kind of see how there isn't quite a specific answer. There's not a black and white. There's a lot of gray in terms of differentiating different types of pain. However, differentiating different types of pain comes very easily to me because that's my job. And that's ultimately what we settled on. And I gave examples and asked a couple of the dance moms who were attending what they did, what was their profession. And one mentioned that she was a school principal. And I said, I don't know anything about being a principal or anything about education. I asked another mom what she did, and she mentioned that she was an accountant. And I said, oh goodness. I was like, I could probably run a school before I could be an accountant. But my point was, we're all really good at what we do. We're all very specific into our profession and into our roles, and we know what we do, and we're good at what we do. So at the end of the story, or at the end of the conversation, I said, your job is to listen and be aware, of what your dancer is complaining of. But in terms of figuring out what that means, that's my job. That's what makes me a specialist. That's why we're, sitting here having this conversation, is to let you know what I can do for your dancers. So there it is. That's kind of like the summary of the story, or the summary of the experience, is that if you have a dancer who's, reporting different symptoms and you just don't know exactly how to interpret it or what to do about it, just shoot us a message. You can shoot me a direct message, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere. It doesn't cost anything to ask. I'm very much in the practice of giving information. So if you just have a question about whether or not you should bring your dancer in, just ask. And just remember, it's not on you to know all the ins and outs of the specifics of understanding the good versus bad pain, what's to be expected versus what isn't good. That's my job. That's what makes me a specialist. So yeah, that's kind of what we settled on. And it takes the burden off of you. It takes the pressure off of you as a parent to know what's best in terms of, getting your kid treated or referring them to the appropriate person. Now you know somebody. You have some resources. But yeah, that's kind of what we settled on at the end of it all, which if your dancer is complaining or reporting some type of a pain symptom, it doesn't hurt just to ask. So if you're not a member of this group, my AZ Dance Med group, go ahead and click to join, or you can also follow me on Instagram. Our username there is just AZ Dance Med. And then our Facebook business page, which just has general information about our events and kind of what we do in the clinic, that's AZ Dance Med as well. So again, any questions about pain, injuries, anything, it never hurts to ask. So just give me a call. I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you soon with another tip on something else to help dancers.